Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Antz. We are once again back in the world of Empires of the Undergrowth. Apologies if you heard a little bit of background noise there. That was my cat who decided to get down just as I started recording after I was resigned to him being on my lap throughout the entire thing. Ah well. So, last time we actually managed to do the harvest. Thank you for all your help and for all the help that'll be forthcoming when I almost hit quit then. When I actually try and do it on hard, and also the challenge mode. I assume it has it, or it doesn't have a challenge mode yet actually. Unlike the challenge mode. Oh good, I was wondering then for a second if it hadn't registered the fact I'd actually beat the level, because I don't think you get the challenge mode options until you've beat the level. Oh my god, my face is just covered in hair right now, it's everywhere. So, yes, we did the harvest last time. It took us a while. The full video was 2 hours 40 minutes, so I hope you appreciated that. There was definitely some periods of forlorn silence in there, because there were parts of it I wasn't sure I was actually going to put up at all, but I decided in the end to split up the way I did, which you seem to appreciate as well. So I had the actual winning victory section at the end, and then there was the winning attempt at the end, and there was the full attempt with everything in there. So as always, we will start with a few comments first off. Again, there are a lot of comments. There's like 150 comments all told on both of the videos so far. So apologies again if I can't get to all of your comments. As I said, there are just a few of them to get through. Let's put those in the Formicarium mode so they can actually do those things while we look at these. So the first thing I saw was from Meh, and it says, "The bugs won't leave you alone at night." He's waited until this update. He's waited so long for the update to come out so he could make that joke. So I thought I'd just highlight how poor that joke was. No, I'm joking. Meh. I enjoyed that very much. Again, a few people have said that they've bought the game or gone back to the game after watching my videos, and I think that's amazing. Hopefully you guys love this game, and if you do enjoy it, if you do enjoy watching it, then do consider picking it up, giving Slug Disco a bit of a helping hand. As I said before, there is a demo available on itch.io as well, so if you're not too sure if you'd enjoy actually playing it, you can always check out the demo. Anyway, someone, I don't know if I'm going to get to your comment, but it's just occurred to me, someone did say there's actually a new Alfa Mission. So if we actually come out of this for a second, if you haven't, I suppose we could have saved that. If you haven't seen these before, because it's been a while since I covered them, in the alpha demo levels, there are these options here. So I have previously covered these four, but the Crucible is a new one. So at some point, probably after we do the Formicarium challenge, we will come back to that alpha level and have a go at that before we attempt doing the hard modes in the 2 leafcutter missions. Because I'm not hugely looking forward to that, shall we say. We could phrase it like that, I think. That seems quite fair. So, what else do we have? Lots of people just trying to help out with the previous level. Like Matthew says, media ants are your greatest resource. Build 2 groups of 7 miners, then go straight to 7 medias. I did go for 2 groups of 19 workers last time. My thinking was I'd have enough ants going out foraging in the early stages without having to worry about saving up too much food to start with to build 1 media. And also it gives you all of the minims as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Lots of people were warning me about the Formicarium Challenge 3, saying that it is really hard. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, I suppose. Because it's not just like 1 or 2 people. There's a lot of people who are like, you thought that was hard. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, sunshine. So for example, Rex Fury says, just a heads up, Challenge 3 will be ridiculously hard. You will need a large army of mages and mortar or quickfire ants. When I say large, I mean at maximum number of ants. People have also recommended, obviously if everything being at level 3 is pretty much standard. There's also the upgrades for the Royal Jelly, which we got in here. Most people going with the Royal Guard option for the Queen. I think one person said the Royal Decree, but most people gone Royal Guard, so we'll go with that. But yes. And also saying to fill your food stores up as well before you attempt the Formicarium challenge. And also stay outside. A lot of people have been saying stay outside for the Formicarium challenge. Going on with Rex's comment, you will of course need a large stockpile of food, at least 4,000. Your mages will have to act as super heavy tanks that can deal decent damage, and your ranged wood ants will be the main damage dealers. Your mages will take a lot of damage, so I advise getting that ability that allows them to reflect 30% of the damage back to their attackers. He says he can't disclose why you will need all this without spoiling the challenge. A few people have, maybe not intentionally, but a few people have mention some of the things which happen. So some of the things may not be a complete surprise to me as they occur, but still not looking forward to it much. And he also says, and as I think I just said this, he says pretty much don't hide in your nest. That's a bad idea for everyone involved. So thank you so much for that, Rex. It's a really, really useful in-depth comment, which I do so much appreciate. So whilst I haven't seen anyone say about the upgrades for anyone other than the Queen, really. So what are the two options here? This and nearby creatures take 30% less damage, or they reflect 30% of damage back. And wait, what was the one he recommended there? He recommends the reflect back to the attackers. I suppose it gets rid of the attackers quicker. Do you want to get rid of the attackers quicker, or do you want to do this one? The thing which I like about that one is it's nearby creatures as well. So if they're near to other friendly ants, I assume they get that. But he did recommend this one, so we will go for this one. And then we may as well do this side as well. All incoming damage is reduced by 3 to a minimum of 0.5. And cannot take more than 20 damage in a single attack. And that's an interesting one, because do you want to buff yourself against lots of little things or really big things? I'm leaning towards lots of little things. I think that'll probably be more useful in the long run. So they're fully upgraded. Whilst we're in here, let's have a look at the rest of these. No, in fact, let's do the comments in case people have made other recommendations. I don't think they really have, but I'm not also going through all the replies to the comments. Lots of people have replied a lot to some of the comments saying about how hard it is in the upgrades and the such. Like I was saying, that I'm looking at this reply here from Matt DV. Says you will need mortars with level 3 splash damage. I would advise the Venom upgrades. What is the Venom upgrade? I'm assuming it's over here, is it? Deal an additional 6 Venom damage, or deal an additional 4.5 physical damage. So it's either immediate damage or over time. It is only over half a second, isn't it? It's not, I mean, half a second is not much to wait, is it? I'm happy with that one. Let's do that one. Pixel Gamer said, start to play the game again because of you. Happy to help, Pixel Gamer. Max Muster says Royal Guards, so Royal Guards are going to be there. Tim Hooper with a bit of an idea about, or he's basically pointing out that when I harried the lines of the enemy leaf cutters in the previous video, what I should have done was attacked them, stop them from using that area, immediately got everyone into gather mode and just retreated from that area. A few people, it's never really come up before, I think I've mentioned it in videos before, but a few people have actually mentioned the fact that the logo I put on the videos is over the minimap down here. So I did reply to one of you, and I did say that I'm probably just going to, at this stage, get rid of the logo. I have been thinking for a while, it's a little bit redundant these days. It's not the cool thing to do, is it? So I'll probably just get rid of the logo entirely, and then at some point when I'm a bit more, when we have a back catalogue of videos without the logo, I will change the subscribe icon to an actual Man of the Antz icon down in the bottom right, because that's what the icon down there is. If you can't see the icon, of course, it's because you're already subscribed, but for those people who aren't subscribed, there is an icon in the bottom right, which YouTube does for you. Daniel B, very close call. Happy you listed some of my advices, but then you didn't follow them. Yeah, so unfortunately, as I said to Daniel in reply, there are so many incoming suggestions on what I can do that it can be a little bit hard sometimes to get there. Someone did say that the hard mode for the harvest, you need to get 120,000 food, and the enemy starts off with more ants and a 2,000 food lead. So that's really, or leaves I should say, not food. That's really tricky. So that's going to be interesting when we get to that stage. Martin Sidwell, something you could have done better. For example, you only need 2 groups, one with workers, one with soldiers. Suggesting not to split the workers up, to just focus them in one area. So some 50-50 on that. It kind of makes sense and it doesn't. If you split them, you can go to 2 different areas, but does it really matter too much? As long as you're keeping an eye on them and you move them as soon as they clear out an area of leaves, it doesn't matter too much. He also says you could have tried not attacking the enemy ants and just collecting leaves and ignoring them. Not so sure if that would have worked for me. I think maybe I took a bit too long getting there for that to really happen. Let's pop them back there so they can get some more food. Or are there more upgrades we could do, I suppose? There are. May as well do those while you're there, friends. So I'm just going to try and skip through some of these. Royal Guard I can see there from little Joshua Ebanks. Thank you, Joshua. Mohammed says, advise you not to stay underground in Formicarium Challenge 3. Yes, indeed. Malabar says Royal Guard. So yeah, Royal Guard is winning by a country mile. Mr. Sad says you're going to enjoy Formicarium Challenge 3 if you thought this was hard. This was, like I said, when I saw these comments popping up, I was starting to get pretty concerned. It took me long enough to do the harvest level, let alone anything else. Josh Vermeulen. Oh my god. Vermeulen. I'm so sorry, Josh. Josh says Challenge 3 is super difficult. Get level 3 major spitters and max food before you even think of trying it. This is what I mean. Everyone's just like so like down on it. Perry just asked for more. Well, more is on the way, Perry. You're in luck. Just trying to skip through a little bit. A few people mentioned keeping the refuse out of the way, but I did try to do a fairly good job of that last time. You can't help some of the workers going in there, but there we go. And then Vincent again mentioning moving the logo out of the way. I think I mentioned it in one of the videos previously. Just looking for the longer one there for the other comments. I think I mentioned one of the videos previously about potentially moving the logo, and then I kind of didn't because I thought, well, you can't see the nest, but do you need to see the nest? Is it that important? But the people who've spoken had like 3 comments on the last couple of videos, so that's gonna happen. Right, so now there is a bit more food available. You can go out there and do some more food gathering whilst I'm wittering on. So we do still have a lot of food. I've already got about 1,000 food, and there's what, about maybe 14,000 out there? That's the wrong video. We don't want that one. Pix just said, oh god, it's slow. It's so long. Oh good god, it's so long. Which I assume is a good thing. I'm just going to check through here, see if there's anything there. Matthew says, I love your videos. Thank you, Matthew. Oh, here's one. There's something I meant to say. Corey Rosen said, could you put in a timestamp that lets us go past the read in the comments section? I can do that. I can't put anything I don't believe. You used to be able to use the pop-ups on screen so you could skip to certain times in videos or skip to other videos or anything. But I don't believe YouTube enables what they call. They weren't called the cards. That's the end thing. And they had a different name. I can't remember what they were, but I don't think you can do that anymore. So what I will try to remember to do, and do tell me off if I do forget, what I'll try and remember to do is put a link in the description, which will automatically skip you past this into the actual goings on from whatever I'm doing, which is today going to be the Formicarium build. So I'll put that in the description for you guys. No worries. Someone else saying you should move your Man of the Antz logo, Soul Harvester. No worries. I shall do that indeed. Sorry, I just got a bit distracted by A. Carlo just going, when will you ever learn? At some point. Takes me a few rounds to get there. And there's a bug that we've missed, apparently, called the Velvet Worm. Well, that hasn't showed up yet, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Someone says that it took them 5 tries. I didn't want to try pronouncing the names, it'd be embarrassing for me. Koga Sangaha, I think. Took me 5 tries to beat the first level, so I wasn't the only one. At least that's something. Having more worker ants in the nest to help with eggs, a couple of people mentioned. People asking for more. And then, Rex Fury again, seconding the, by the way, Challenge 3, really damn hard. Okay, so I think we got the point of Formicarium Challenge 3. So then. What are we going to do? So we've got a fresh Formicarium here. How are we going to deal with this? We don't have to worry even about leaves. If we're going to need 4,000 food, we're going to need another food store. We don't really want to increase the size of this one because it's going to give it a bigger thing. So what I'm thinking we might do is just stick another one just over here. So we could put it there, and then it's pretty close to the entrance again, so they can bring it in nice and fast. Let's do that. We are going to need some more workers in the nest to help ferry the eggs around, so we're going to need to have a worker's nest. Probably only 7, probably don't need much more than that. And then we're going to need... Do we want black ants, or do we want just leafcutter ants. That's an interesting thing, because black ants are essentially usurped by the leafcutters, aren't they? The only benefit they have is they're cheaper. But maybe we don't care about cheap. I might ignore the black ants for now, you know. We'll obviously we'll have to come back to them at some point, but in the short term, you could probably get away with just ignoring them. We'll have to build a movement tile, aren't we? So let's get that done. And once we've got this built, we'll get some actual more ants on the go, which would be nice for everyone involved. And that one, don't think I got that one. Almost there. Just the last couple. Right then. So we need the chambers fairly close to what I'm sort of thinking to start with is we do something like this. My reasoning being that gives us more surface area to bring other chambers off, while still leaving them quite close. If we just attach it like, you know, every other bit or something, or wherever there's a nest coming off. That's my reason, and I can't decide if that's a good idea or not. We can't really do much about this straight shot to the entrance. I'd like to make that a bit squirrely and maybe circle around like we saw in the enemy's nest in the harvest, but obviously that's not an option here. So I'm just wondering whether this is a sensible idea. Is it essentially, doesn't really do much, does it? All it really does, I suppose, is just make sure the nests are further away. Now, so I've gone off that idea immediately. So, if we just plan from the Queen's Chamber a number of 19 chambers, wherever we can fit them in, and then we'll see how we feel once we've got those down. And how many we've got. So that's the other thing I was sort of thinking is, so do we want to keep pathways through? We've got lots of space here. That's what I was thinking we would do. Because a couple of people have mentioned that you don't want your ants going through the nurseries if you can help it. So having, say, we just get rid of this very quickly. If you have like a nursery there and then a nursery there, and that one's attached to the Queen and these two are attached together, everything that comes from this nursery has to walk through this one to get there. So I think that's why I sort of just wondering about having like a corridor around the Queen like that. But what I think we'll do instead then, we still want them as close to the Queen as possible. So we could do something like this. Also give us a shot to the food. Do we need a shot to the food? Maybe not. And then down here we could fit in... That's supposed to fit in 2 7s there. Could be. That would be too fantastical. No, not quite. If we get rid of that... We could fit 2 7s in there like that. And then here we could fit in... be there, wouldn't it? We could fit a 19 in there. Connect that to here rather than straight to the Queen's Chamber. Do we want to make these double wide like this? Probably don't need it, do we? And then we could also fit in there. Could go a little closer, couldn't it? So we could do that, which uses up this space a lot more. And we could have potentially 2 groups of workers here, as well as these 19. And then we would need to make another, maybe there. Precisely there. Now I'm aware this is counting as building units. This number up here is going down at the moment. I'm just having a bit of a think more than anything. So we could do the same thing here. And then probably fit something out in up here as well, potentially. And then you can have another one coming off here. Maybe here-ish. Oops. Put someone else down there. So I think that's going to be our general plan. So we'll have these like corridors branching off of the Queen's Chamber. And then the nest attached to those corridors. It does also mean we can put speed tiles down those corridors as well. The only thing I'm wondering is if we need to make them double wide. But I suppose we could always double them up where we can. Just to give some, just to ease the bottlenecks. Okay, let's do it. Don't have enough resources to dig. Let's just get rid of this one for now. We know what we're doing there. So here we will build ourselves some workers. And for now, everything is just going to go into group 1. We can worry about that later on. The reason I haven't dug out these 2 is because I would rather use these 2 here to start with. Because we don't want to... We want to keep them as close to the Queen as possible for our first one. So let's do that. And we're going to put a movement tile there. So for this one we shall do ranged. That's definitely ranged, just making sure. And so the thing we do have to worry about is food. We just ran out of food and all we've done so far is a little bit of digging essentially. Only got these 2 and we spent 1,000 food. We need to get all these upgraded to level 3 as well and get as many mages as we can as well. So food's going to be the problem. Whether I'll have to do a couple of missions off camera. It does look a bit more actual nest-like, doesn't it? Like an actual ant's nest with these kind of branching chambers. I do like it. I do like it. I am a fan. So I think we're off to a pretty good start. We probably do want to get at least this chamber filled up and this one. And obviously these 2 here as well. If we've got the space, we do want to use it. That's the thing. Just going to put the marker slightly deeper down in case they start thinking they're running low on food. Lots of little critters around as well we can gather. Not that they're worth that much food. Well, it doesn't actually tell us, does it? But I don't think they're worth very much food. So there's a little bit of food coming in. Not as much as maybe I'd like. But the more ants we get, the faster they'll get it in, I suppose. So do we want to get another chamber of these guys just because they're cheaper for now? I suppose so. Two melee to 1 major seems quite reasonable, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Let's do that. And just give us more ants in the short term to go get this food as well. We should add those to the same group, of course. Of course. Is this one down here fully upgraded? It is fully upgraded, okay. And we will try to get speed tiles through here as well, particularly down this main thoroughfare, just to get ants out as quick as possible. Obviously, we do need to build them. I'm not going to do that one yet, in case I get it in the wrong place and do something silly. Seems likely, doesn't it? Oh. Alright, we can build it now. For sure. So food is definitely coming in a little fast. You can see down here the plethora of ants we have out doing our dirty work for us. And with that second 19 built, we will start working on our first 19 majors. Obviously these are going to take a little longer to come by just because they do cost so much.
The Eruptor workers have raised the first Atacephallotus.
We have!
Very good. I look forward to seeing how they integrate into the Erector hierarchy.
I'm not sure they really would in this situation. I'm pretty sure they would just murder everything. Just be like, this isn't my sort of nest. What the hell's going on here? Where's the leaf farms? I suppose the fungus farms. Oh, I do love them. They are so beastie. Off you go, collect me some food, you giant beauties. I wonder if they can carry more they can carry more leaf back with them, obviously, but can they carry more standard food back with them? I don't know how we can tell. Sure, they're just going to grab a bit. Yeah, just grab a bit. I was hoping they would just hoover up like just chunks. Just come back with their mandibles full. Well, so far so good, but we are maybe halfway through our food and we haven't even started upgrading anything yet. So I'm getting very concerned we are going to have to do a bit more off-camera food farming. So I would like to use all of these tiles I do. We've only got, that is the tiles one there, isn't it? Yeah. We only have 16 left. But if we take this one out, obviously that gives us over 19 then, doesn't it? I'm going to leave that there just to remind me that's what I had planned for there. Probably don't need that little bit there either. Or that bit necessarily, just connect it straight to there. Well, food is coming in at a rate of knots now, as you'd expect when you've got this many ants. We never finished doing the DNA upgrades, did we? So what have we got over here for the wood ants? We've already got their Venom Attack. We've got Crippling. The target takes an extra 40% damage from further physical attacks of 1.5 seconds. Or they take extra damage from Venom Attacks. So surely it's going to be the Venom. I suppose that's helpful with regards to these, but as these are going to be the main damage dealers, well, yeah, we're going to go with the Venom Attacks, right? Yeah, definitely. Okay, Venom Attack is. We'll do the Royal Guard. Oops. We'll do the Royal Guard. And of these two, second win. Upon dropping to 75% health, restore your queen's health back to full and become invulnerable for 30 seconds. Or, upon dropping to 75% health, confuse any enemy within a huge radius of the queen, covering almost the entirety of your underground. Now, the problem I have with these is I can't really think of a situation where our queen would go down to 75% health and be surrounded by allies who could help her out. So, I think it's a rather useless ability, because I don't, like I said, I don't think it's ever going to come into effect. That's the word I was looking for. But I think of the two, this one's probably more useful, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go with Fierce Mother. Does that mean we've gone... Oh, I was going to say, does it mean we've gone diagonal on all of them? But no, that one ruined it for us. What do we got here? Aggressive Brood. Increase the attack damage by 3, making workers reasonable fighters. Well, do you need those if you've got... Got the Black Ants and the Mages? Or Efficient Brood. Workers are no longer slowed on nurseries. Additionally, increase movement speed by 40, food harvested from creature by 10, and job completion speed by 2. We're definitely going to go with that one. Whilst not in combat, attacks against the worker. Whilst not in combat, attacks against the worker have a 90% chance of causing no damage. Okay. And cannot take more than 20 damage in a single attack and reduce damage. So that one's basically saying they might avoid combat by just running past it. So I think we're going to go with that one. And I mean, we could do this when we have enough jelly for it. We've got jelly up to the wazoo, which is a technical ant piece of anatomy. But we're not really too bothered by it. They're more going to be there for, yeah, to be a meat wall. Rather than, we're not going to use them particularly, but that's what they are generally used for. Upon dropping below health, retreat. When out of combat, regenerate 4 extra health per second. I think probably that one. I think probably the regeneration. I think the retreating thing, they're just going to get caught anyway. They're going to get attacked from behind as they try to run away. So that's what we're going to go with in terms of upgrades. So we have a full 19 mages now. I suspected they got through that food without me looking. So I think in the short term, let's look at upgrading the ones that we have and see where we are at the end of that. Once we've got all of this food from in here, we may as well stick those guys into a 2 and start sending these after the little nick and knacks that are around. Nicks and knacks? It's not how you say it. Why are they just stopping there? Oh, because they're the ranged ones, of course. Well, that makes sense. And then we'll just send them down there to do the same thing. Although they are just going to go straight through that food, aren't they? Oh well, they'll get there in the end. So we have fully upgraded one of these, which is lovely. So now let's work... I mean, this is going to just hoover our food up, isn't it? Yep, all gone. A couple more stage 1s done. We don't have the food to quite finish off yet. I mean, these guys must... I did see some of the bigger ones outside before, but look at them. Look how huge they get when they're upgraded. It's so good. It is so good. I absolutely love it. May as well stick these guys in the same group and just tell the ones to go down there, hadn't we? So let's start getting these up to 3. Running dangerously low on food there, aren't we? Look at them. Oh, I do love them so much. We haven't even done the speed tiles yet either. So I know that's not going to be a vast amount, but it's going to be enough. So we'll get this chamber fully upgraded to 3, but we're not going to get the other ranged units up to level 3, are we? If I'd have been a bit more careful moving Formicariums, we might be in a slightly better position with regards to our food, but I was a little bit unsure how that worked, so I think we may have lost a bit of food there, because I had so much food in stock, but not actually... I should have just made and upgraded as many things as possible just to say it was done. So yeah, we are largely out of food now, look. Stunned the little mealworm. Seen that in action, I suppose. That's something. Say we've seen that in action now. Know what that looks like. So, last one of these, I was going to say. They're bigger than the queen. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think I deleted the wrong marker. That's why they all started coming back in, wasn't it? So yes, that is our last bit of food. So we have got 380 food in stock. There'll be a tiny little bit coming back in from that, but not much at all. So that's basically where we are, 380 food. Definitely wanted a bit more than that. And a bit more upgrades as well. So we're going to have to do some off-camera food farming to get that. It's a little bit frustrating. Obviously, I'm always a little bit time sensitive on these things. But there we go. Let's stick a save in. Let's take a look at our little army. I mean, I wouldn't start on them, but you know what this mad scientist is like. He'll do anything for a laugh, won't he? Right, how much did these ones cost? 60. So it's talking like what? 1120? No, other way. 1080 to upgrade it by another 2, which we are obviously way short of, and then we need just a lot of food in stock, and I suspect we need just more ants in general as well. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a level to tell us what what's gonna be. I mean, we get so little food for it. It's crazy, isn't it? Did we only get a lot of food with these because it was the first time we did them? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Right, then I'm going to go get some food. I should be back in a moment, hopefully. Alright then, so I managed to do one mission. The trouble is the missions are just so long, so I just did New Home on medium with the additional challenge difficulty. So I think it gives you 800 food by standard, but if you do the challenge mode and then select the extra food at the end, you get about 1495, I think, which isn't bad, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough for us to actually get this Formicarium up and running, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Let's give him some help over there. So yeah, so I'm going to leave this here for now then. Well, I say that I'm going to finish off this food and get a few more things done downstairs, as it were. But then I think really I'm going to need to do some more food farming off camera to really get... I don't know if this is enough ants. I'm assuming we need more than 19 majors and 38 ranged. I'm assuming that we need a lot more than that. Oh, that's why that didn't work. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but hedging my bets, I think we'll need a few more. We certainly had a lot more ants in the previous Formicarium when we did the Challenge 2. Not that that was entirely difficult. We did it without actually upgrading any of the Raw Jelly upgrades or anything like that, because I'm a clown and I sort of forgot about it at the time. So I was just doing to try and get the leaf cutter started was the actual reason. Where is this? There's a little bit of food hidden down here somewhere. Where is it? You got it. Good job, mate. Good job. There's a little bit there as well. And there's a little bit, possibly a bit left in that woodlouse if you get there anytime soon. But no, it's gone. Okay, fine. So we've got about as much food as we are going to get today. Where are we in terms of... So we fully upgraded that. We fully upgraded this. If we can... It's going to cost about 1,200, I said, didn't I? Let's see if my maths was actually right, I suppose. I'm expecting we'll be on about... Oh no, my math is way off. I thought it'd be 1,200 to do both of them. It's 1,200 to do one. Oh no, it is. Of course it's 1,200 to do one run. Yes, or 1120, whatever I said it was. See, we can't even fully upgrade this one. We will run out of food for that, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, the idea of trying to do the Formicarium challenge at this stage is probably just not going to happen without a fully upgraded level 3 mortars. And there we go, we are out of food. That is everything. So, I will have to do some more farming off camera and over the course of what day is this out? This video's out on Thursday, so I mean, suppose I can get some done at the weekend, can't I? Because as always, it is just time that's the problem. Finding time to spend, you know, 2-3 hours just farming food in Empires is tricky to find in my busy life. So I'm going to leave that there. I think we make some pretty good progress. I'm happy with the like the path layout that we've got, the branching path. We can get another one down here as well, get some more nests off if we need. Happy with how that's gone. I suppose we should have probably left a gap in between these two so we could get another path off up here if we need it. Because if we want to do anything up there now, it's going to have to come off one of the other nests, which isn't going to be ideal, is it? Unless, can we sneak this one up? No, I can't sneak that one up there because of this little bottleneck. So I'd have to go all the way around from the side there. Yeah, far from ideal. We should have left a bit of a gap there, but there we go. We learn these lessons as we go, don't we? So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do click the like button. Genuinely very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Questions and comments, leave them down below and I get back to you as soon as I see them. Don't forget, I do stream every Wednesday at 6 PM, so come along and say hello there if you're around. It'd be wonderful to see you. With your questions or comments, obviously, do let me. Everyone's warned me about the Formicarium challenge, so maybe just let me know the sort of numbers you think I should have, and whether this is enough once these are fully upgraded, or if I'll definitely need some more majors, which I think I might do. And I'm definitely going to need just some general food in store. I've got, someone said 4,000 food, and I got, what, 1,400 from that mission. So I'd need to do that 3 times just to get the food in store ready to do this. And the missions take like half hour or whatever. So, yeah. Fair old while I got to go farming some food. So, yeah, any hints or tips or suggestions or anything like that, leave them down below. It'd be very much appreciated. And I will see you next time. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.